All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down a concept that could totally change your freelance business: value-based pricing. We're going to dig into how you can finally escape that trap of hourly billing and honestly just dramatically boost your income by charging for the results you get people.
Okay, let's kick things off with a question I know so many freelancers have asked themselves. You've got your hourly rate, you feel pretty good about it, but then that little thought creeps in. Is there a hard ceiling on what I can earn when I'm just getting paid for my time?
And this right here, this leads to what we call the freelance ceiling. It's that super frustrating point where working more, 60, 70 hours a week, it just doesn't move the needle on your income. Why? Because you've run out of hours to sell. You literally can't break through that ceiling with more work alone.
So how do you break through? Well, the key, the real solution, is a complete shift in your mindset. It's about stopping being a time tracker who just sells hours and becoming a problem solver who sells real, tangible results.
Okay, let's really break this down, because this is huge. Hourly pricing, when you think about it, actually punishes you for being good at your job. The faster you get, the more skilled you are, the less you make on a project. It's crazy. But with value pricing, you're rewarded for that efficiency, because your fee is tied to the outcome, not how long it took you.
And this is the big reframe, right? It's how you talk about what you do, not just to clients, but to yourself. You're not just a designer who gets $75 an hour. No, you're a specialist who solves a conversion problem that's costing a business thousands of dollars. See the difference? One's a commodity. The other, that's a high-value investment.
Which brings us to the question. Seriously, this one question is the key that unlocks this entire model. Before you even think about your price, you have to figure this out. What is my solution actually worth to my client?
Okay, let's make this real. Let's walk through an example. Say you've got an e-commerce client, and right now their business is pulling in about $50,000 in revenue a month. Not bad.
And the new website you build for them, it works. Let's say it bumps up their conversion rate by just a modest 15%. This has nothing to do with the hours you clocked. It's all about the direct impact your work had on their business.
And boom, right there. That is the value you created. That little 15% bump, it means an extra $7.5 grand in their pocket every single month. Now all of a sudden, a $10,000 or $15,000 project fee doesn't sound like a cost, does it? It sounds like an amazing deal.
Okay, so you see the potential, right? It's massive. So now let's get into the how. Let's look at the actual playbook you can use to start applying this to your own business, like today.
And it really comes down to this super simple three-step process. First, you discover the value. Second, you package up your solution. And third, you set your price based on that value. Let's dig in.
Okay, step one, value discovery. This part is so crucial, and it happens before you even think about mentioning a price. You got to dig in with questions like, what's the single biggest challenge you're dealing with? Or how is that actually impacting your revenue? But here's the killer question, my favorite one. If we could just wave a magic wand and solve this for you, what would that be worth? You're getting them to tell you the value. So once you know the value, how do you actually price it? Well, here's a really great rule of thumb. Aim to charge about 1/3 of the value you're creating. So if your work is going to make or save them $30,000, you can walk in and confidently ask for $10,000. It's a total win-win. They get a huge ROI, and you make way more than you ever would have hourly.
Okay, so you've got your price, but let's be real. Just having the number isn't enough. Getting a client to say yes to, say, a $10,000 proposal, that takes a bit of psychology in how you present it.
So here are 3 solid techniques that are going to help you present that price with total confidence. Think of it as your framework for that money conversation, so it feels like an investment, not an expense. And this script right here, it's pure gold. Look at what it does. When they ask for the price, you don't just throw a number out there. You anchor it. You start by reminding them of the cost of their problem, the thing you already talked about. It completely reframes your fee as an investment to stop a financial leak. It's so much easier for them to say yes to that.
So what happens when people actually do this? When freelancers make this leap from billing for hours to charging for outcomes? Well, the change can be absolutely transformative. Just look at this. A web designer jumps from $75 an hour to landing $8,000 projects. A marketing consultant goes from $100 an hour to a $15,000 monthly retainer. This isn't just a little raise, you guys. This is a whole new ballgame for your business.
So when it all comes down to it, here's what you need to take away. The next big leap in your freelance career, it all hangs on how you answered this one simple question.
Are you going to keep selling your time, which will always have a limit, or are you going to start selling your value, which, as you can see, has no limit at all? The choice is yours.